Greetings. Greetings indeed. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 21 for a walk about London avec moi. We have had a successful morning routine, all is well, and I've just realised what I've said and I realised who I'm going to meet. Get out of my head. And I am listening to my Bible segment on the way to see Will Carne. I've just finished the book of Hosea and Joel, and I'm on Amos, and it's so intense. It's really relationally and emotionally dense of the Lord's love for his people and how much he doesn't want to see them hurt themselves or them hurt him in their relationship. And it's just, history is so like visceral when you're listening to it in one go. And I often think of Joel when I go to London Zoo because of all the locusts, and you really feel the weight of what is shared about the day of the Lord, and it's really heavy and it's really big, but it makes sense of everything else, because without that there's no reason to care. This is good for me because I know you can watch me being like, oh, she's just talking to camera, but I'm like, there's loads of people watching me. So it's good to practice being okay, being a complete weirdo in public. I realise I haven't been in Central for so long. I'm just really enjoying the architecture. I've enjoyed a lot of nature recently, walking around parks near me, but some of the architecture in London is just stunning. Also, I forgot Southwark Bridge is here, which I think of as the Harry Potter Bridge, because that's where they all go rattling along with a whole bunch of Dementors after them. And I haven't been here in ages, let alone since I watched Harry Potter, which was recently. So I feel there's always an element of magic when you come back to where you know something has been filmed. We have a Will.
Hello, it's me. I have very fluffy hair.
We have accidentally matching outfits.
Well, we planned this.
Of course, this was on
our two-person music group.
Which
we performed Spice Girls covers.
Have you not heard? Which way are we going? This way or that way?
This way.
Great. What are you doing for the rest of your day?
I am editing. What else am I doing? I'm eating food, snacks. And I'm very excited for it.
Great.
That's it. I'm just editing.
There's another dog.
From my office.
There's another cute dog.
#lockdown.
Yes. I'm just getting excited about the dog that we're about to pass.
There was a dog.
But we managed to see a very lovely grey miniature poodle.
Yes. Oh no, toy poodle.
Toy poodle, my apologies.
Little baby.
Tiny baby. Little thing. It was very sweet.
Small bean.
It came and made friends and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Annie.
That was a very joyous moment. Right, my hand is about to fall off with cold, so we will leave that there. I finished a podcast and sent it off yesterday, so just waiting for revisions on that, and had a really positive meeting this morning. To be able to be part of that conversation was really good, and now I'm walking at pace through London to see my mother for some soup. We are amazingly a walking distance, so it's walking distance. It's an hour plus to get to our spot, but at the same time that could be way worse. So I'm going to plug myself in. I think I'm in the book of Job, or Job if you are not familiar with the Bible, and listen through that. I am still really enjoying it, and it's just huge. I just have a sense of God's bigness and a sense of his almightiness that I haven't had. I'd say, you always have a sense, you're always learning, you're always growing, but this has just been huge. I'm just about managing to listen to audio instructions on my ears whilst talking to you. But do excuse the slightly disconjointed conversation. I'm going to put my freezing cold hand back in a glove and listen to Job. See you later. I can't walk through theatreland without just expressing the emotion of passing through with Les Mis all closed up. Everybody's talking about Jamie and 6 right up ahead of me. It's just, this is where people think without realising it, and ideas are shared and people do what they love, and just the sadness of the theatres not being open right now. We all know this, but I'm just saying it again so we can all have a little convalesce. We've had our soup lunch, sat on our park bench looking questionable. There's basically not a soul in Green Park, but Mother has very kindly said that she will get me a hot chocolate, so we're going to find that. Where did you say it was?
Up by the fountain.
Great. So we're going to head warm ourselves in that. We both ended up with butternut squash soup. Who knew? Great minds, eh? Great minds. Right, hot chocolate calls. Lovely to see Mum just now. That was so nice. We didn't talk about anything what you would say of consequence. It was just lovely to catch up in person. It's just so nice. Good to be walking home in the sunshine as well, as after getting beaten by wind and rain, it's now a lovely sunny day. So just enjoying some of the Portland masonry windows, and I'm going to plug back into the depths of Job and hurry home to jump back into some editing. Almost home, and the light is beautiful. There is this fun structure that's just appeared, which is for Christmas in Granary Square, and I literally just finished Job, and I just hadn't remembered that there's this massive chunk at the end that explains about how that's the set of stairs I'm after. That Job has received more back from the Lord than all he lost, and he goes through this absolutely horrendous calamity and then has this ridiculous restoration. And I'd kind of forgotten that. I knew that there was something that went on, but it was amazing to see, and it's quite a baffling book. It doesn't really give you answers, but it gives you truths to wrestle with, and there's this big old showdown when God speaks to him out of a whirlwind. A whirlwind! I mean, come on, like, that's awesome enough in itself. So, let alone what he says, which is big. It's just a lot to take in, especially it's hard because I'm obviously listening to it at speed to work out which of his friends. So basically all the stuff, bad stuff happens to Job, he's like, ah, and then he has friends that are like, oh, maybe it's because of this, or what about this, and you're a bad person, Job, type stuff, and they're all wrong. And Job doesn't rebel against God in his actions, and that's affirmed. So encouragement for speaking to God and saying, help, in the way in which we interact. So it's hard to tell when his friends are speaking, because his friends are the ones that aren't very wise and they say the wrong things. So you have to listen quite closely, which I don't think I was listening closely enough to then be able to discern what's the real wisdom and what's the false wisdom. Don't listen to this bit. This is again a demonstration of how the Bible is descriptive, not prescriptive, which is so helpful when there's all this death and murder and terrible things in the Bible. People seem to somehow assume, because of course people are all historically fluent in understanding Jewish texts, but understanding that a lot of it is there to say, this is terrible, please don't ever do this. So all of that to say, it's hard to listen to it and understand what I should be paying attention to and what I shouldn't be paying attention to. But for the last stretch of the journey home, I'm going to listen to some music because I've been doing a lot of words. I've realised this boat is in town. It's a very fun one. It's got a full-on set of shields, and it even has a little tail. So if you see that boat floating around King's Cross, then it's certainly one to brighten one's day.